what sometimes when people ask me what is my next thing in IFS, and I tell them go do Relateful.
Mm. Val and I are here with Dan. Thank you for coming and agreeing to just have a conversation. Dan is an IFS therapist, and you also train people to be IFS therapists.
hmm
Yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah,
Um,
I've got a training coming up this week. I've been training people in IFS at different levels of trainings for the last 11 years. So
Amazing.
it's been a long while. I've trained I don't know how many hundreds of people and supporting them in their continuing development after and like
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
And IFS is so popular. I'm here. It's such a, I hear it everywhere how it's helpful for people. And just, we thought maybe just hearing from you as someone who is really steeped in IFS, highly skilled, and then what it's been like to take the Relateful coach training and what's similar, what's different. Yeah, just get a little bit about your story there. And do you want to start off with anything that anything light you up about what I've said so far?
Yeah. So I was at an event and I've been training all kinds of things and I feel really comfortable in supporting people wherever they are. And I was at an event and somebody was doing something and I was like, what is that? Like I haven't seen or heard this before. I want this for groups. I want this for relationality. I want whatever this is. I don't know what this is, but and it wasn't even the focus of the event. It was like it was just a some way that they were helping the people get acquainted but it wasn't like icebreakers and normal bullshit that like just feels a little hollow. Um, and I found out that it was called Relateful. So after that event, I came out looking for what is Relateful. I had a half-hour call. I immediately signed up and didn't know what I was signing up for. I just knew there was something here that I absolutely wanted, that was missing from my IFS training, my training as a therapist, my um, yeah, something about the relationality here
Yeah.
gets
Well,
lost in a lot of therapy and IFS training.
yeah. What would you call that? Is it and kind of intimacy or like if you were to put a couple words to that thing that you saw?
Yeah. There is intimacy, but it's not one-way intimacy. That's one thing that
Mm,
really feels lost in a lot of therapy contexts. And it's a loss for both the facilitator and the clients that are coming. Um, there's so much fear in therapy around burdening clients and taking up their space that there's often too much holding back and and like even when we started like when we started the call, immediately I could feel like what was happening for you, Renee, when we landed today and you shared it and um like I felt immediately more here, immediately more connected to you, and immediately more connected with myself. And
mm,
you could have just said, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm dealing with some stuff," and just moved on. But you didn't. You're like, "This is what's here. This is what's real." And that whole like context setting that we do in Relateful, it's just not something that therapists do as a norm. And it is
mm.
a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something how the relationship actually is transformational in and of itself. It's not
Yeah.
this separate thing that to stay away from or like now we're on a tangent.
Yeah. And even in the therapy research is I could bring up the paper. It's like from 99, but they looked at common factors for what actually makes a difference in psychotherapy, and the relationship accounts for 30% of what is known. 40% is unknown things that are going on for the client, but of the things
Yeah.
that the facilitator has influence on, it's the relational is the biggest factor. And like, so if we don't honor this and don't really um develop this, because there's a skill to it. It's not just sharing everything. There's a
Yeah.
skillfulness
Right.
in being in
Right.
relation.
There is a, because there's a certain, like, how do I want to share? What's adding to this experience right now that helps us still stay with the client in their topic, whatever they're in. So we're not, yeah, there is something there. There's like a certain chemistry, or I don't know what the word is.
Yeah,
So
like
Dan, you added what you learned from the our Relateful Coaching course. You added something to what you were doing. Is that right?
yeah, very much. So I I added and I emphasized and I amplified things that I was
Yep.
already doing and felt
Nice.
more freedom. So as a teacher, what some of the feedback that I've gotten is, yes, you're brilliant, you do these things and you've got all of these concepts, and we want to feel you, and we
Wow.
want and we want you to make it real for us. And so what and but I do that my way is experiential present moment, not through story, which being and learning relateful has been really helpful for just having that be like right now I can feel myself starting to tear up a little bit, and and there's almost like a it's like a grief, like I wasn't really allowed. I didn't feel like I had the freedom to share. There was this belief that what I was sharing was the information and I might get in the way. And now when I'm teaching, like, you know, we all teach and we clam up and we get uncomfortable and but rather than keeping up the performance, it's like I can feel myself talking faster right now. I'm gonna intentionally just like name this out loud so that you're here with me, and I can feel myself starting to slow down just sharing this with you rather than just keeping it to myself. Like these, they seem little, but it like invites everybody in the room to like just get to have what's happening be allowed to happen. And they don't have to hide, they don't have to pretend. Um, and it makes the learning environment feel more like a place that we want to be rather than a place where we're always watching for being evaluated and being caught. And uh,
Right.
yeah, there's just something rich and meaningful and important about that.
I imagine it's less tiring.
So much less tiring. Um, yeah, it's not that I don't have to show up and know what I'm doing. It's that I don't have to be this polished performance that nails the punchline and does all of these tricks. Like I don't have to do tricks. I just get to like share what we're actually stepping into and and live more of what I'm teaching as I'm teaching it. Um
Wow.
yeah. And yeah, this has been invaluable for that. And I don't know, I know this is for the coaching, but what I was realizing as I was going over rereading reacquainting myself with the material before stepping in today was, oh, so when I say go do the relateful, it's like it feels like if you aren't actually in the relateful community and don't really know what circling and all of that is, maybe you should do level up and then
Right.
Mhm.
then do the coaching program
Right.
because it's really that feels like an invaluable deepening and scaffolding before stepping into that kind of next
Mm-hmm.
application
Mm-hmm.
coaching. Um,
Mm.
yeah, what's happening, Renee?
Yeah, I'm wondering where to go next. Yeah, so I'm hearing that there were some assumptions that kind of like I need to edit myself out in order to offer value to my clients. And
Yeah.
and then now you're seeing, oh, even if I'm with someone and I'm sort of speeding up or I'm doing something as a from nervousness or that's actually an invitation or another, it's everything's a doorway to have more relationship or to invite closeness. So it's not really like a bear. It's like aren't really a barrier, you know? Like if I feel stuck or I'm uncertain, that's actually a window, and our clients probably feel that way too, even in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And that brings to me for I don't know how long. For a while, I'm like, what the fuck is relatefulness? I'm like, what are we doing? Because it's
Yeah.
so similar and so familiar, but different.
Mhm.
And when I would hear like the goal isn't healing, the goal is intimacy, and like, okay. And but it's an important distinction, but trying to like fumble into, because that's really what it felt like, fumble into like what does that actually mean and how are we doing that? Um and there was um there was an honesty about that, because I mean even when people come in for therapy, people don't really even know what, I mean I don't even know what healing means anymore, honestly.
Mhm.
But intimacy and connection and feeling alive and feeling like wholeness, feeling the actual experience of love and being loved, like people want like more of that. And when we share ourselves and invite like that, it's like it's a simple move. What's that like for you to hear? Or how, what's happening for you as I'm sharing this, like checking out the relational, the impact and the inviting into what's now relationally. It um it's not a lesser way.
Mm.
Uh, there's this myth in psychotherapy that you need to do it. You need to figure your shit out. You need to do your work. But this intimacy piece is like we're in something. There is you, but this me and we is as or more important than this idea that there is just a you on the other side. Um,
Mm. That was beautifully said.
yeah.
Mm.
And it's so less isolating, like being in the chair, even as the client, and it's like, I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
And there's like, to really have the feeling that like, oh, somebody's here with me. We're doing this. There's something bigger than us,
Hmm.
bigger than this. That's a piece. What when trying to find the words. And this has been so this thing that's happening right now is something that I've struggled with all of my life, that feels more like it just gets to be here. And that is, I'm not great with words. And so when I say I'm going to find my words, I'm not asking permission. I'm not, I'm not apologizing. It's just like, oh,
Hmm.
this is what's happening right now. And I'm not going away. And I will bring you words when words come, or I will say, we'll come back to that when something comes. And it's just like I can feel my chest open, just feel like a a freedom. Like it's not just because it's something that I that's has been a pattern for me. It doesn't have to be like a problem or a,
And in fact, hearing you say that, I relaxed a little bit because there's something like I'm wanting this call to go well right now. And there's part of me that's like, oh, ask a good question or, you know, kind of evaluating myself where I could relax more now. If it, you know, like I'm like hearing you, I thought, oh, maybe I don't need to hold it so like that. I can let that go and we're just being human beings here together and we don't have to get something right.
yeah. And
Dan, I
yeah.
keep trying to remember at the near the end of the
Mhm.
coaching course, you had an epiphany,
Yeah,
like
it
a
was,
aha. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was amazing. Do you remember?
I remember it was I'd done Level Up. I'd finished the coaching course, and I remember Renee, you and I talking, and because we do these 4 coaching calls at the end to like see if we're ready to be certified. And I was just like hitting a wall. I'm like, I I don't feel like what I'm doing is bad, but it's not relateful. And like, what am I missing? And like, just having hitting this stuckness, and you hanging out with me after and going through it, and then coming to you, Val, and doing 2 more follow-up sessions with 2 other people and kind of bridging the gap. And that's another thing. Like, this process feels really mentoring and supportive. Like we're all on the same team. Like wherever you are, whatever's going on, we're all on the same team.
Mhm.
That in itself is huge. But that thing after the last session, when I nailed it,
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I, so there's IFS and there's Relateful. And the truth
Yeah.
is, we both do the same things in so many ways.
Right.
In so many ways, they're the same, but just like punctuating intimacy versus healing, punctuating the relational, the IUE, the first, second, third person.
Mhm.
Um, that's what's lost in IFS. It's not that it's not there, it's just not punctuated. So in
Right.
IFS, I'm gonna say, I'll pick on you, Val. So I'm gonna say, hey Val, what do you want to explore today? So we'll do a contracting and we'll do all of that and we'll settle in, and there's something that's happening for you, and I'm gonna help you get in relationship with it, and you're gonna have this deep internal experience that can be life changing. Like it really can be. But
Mhm.
I'm just out here and I'm just facilitating, and I'm holding containment, and I'm inviting an extra support. I'm doing all kinds of things, but the we is it's used as a secondary, as a lesser. And this is one of the things that's changed in my teaching in IFS
Mhm.
as we've been doing this is that reaching out to someone or something else and having external, it isn't lesser, and it can be richer. It's like we need both of these. And this is why I feel like IFS and Relateful are almost
Mhm.
like, and Relateful also supports the internal, but it doesn't punctuate that. That's
Right.
not where we're, and IFS is more focused in the teaching on like, we're going to drill in, we're going to get to your vulnerable places, we're going to help change
Yeah.
the burdens, beliefs that were there. So that's a huge shift. And because of that, there's this thing in IFS that's called direct access, which is where you embody your part, you embody an identity, you embody a particular identity, or you embody a something that's showing up somewhere, and you speak as it. Like, and we do this in Relateful Coaching. And in Relateful Coaching, it's just like, yeah, this is just what we're doing. It's just, and from a teacher perspective in IFS, the teachers are like, yeah, this is just what we're doing. But from a learner perspective, it feels like a very foreign thing. And so people take typically like several years to feel comfortable enough to actually invite their clients to do this simple thing of like, what if you had just identified as that right now when we played around with that and you got to know
Mm.
whatever that something is from its
Mhm.
perspective, and you just you let it move you, let it speak as you. And that's what I was looking for when I was at that event, and I was like, there's something there that I need to learn more deeply. And
Yeah.
and so I've been grateful to be hanging out in this communal space for the last couple of years because it has made me a better teacher, a better therapist. And therapists struggle with burnout so badly,
Yeah, then,
so badly.
Mhm.
being able to share impact as a therapist, being able to share how you're impacted by what the client is saying.
Hmm.
I mean, and that's held back, right? There's a holding back,
Well,
or what is it? There's something that's different.
there's jargon that's taught in graduate school. Countertransference is like the language. And
Yeah,
in IFS, there's this thing of like therapists need to be aware of their parts, and when it feels useful, shared like the experience of parts coming in, and that's an IFS language. And but it's not even that. There's more caution around what you share and when you share it and how you share it, as opposed to like I was sitting with somebody the other day, and he stopped and was just like, I feel so much more connected to you in this moment than for the last 5 minutes when I don't know what was happening. Oh, you didn't need me to do all of that and distract you in all of these ways. I could just like be here. It's uncomfortable, but I could just be here, and this is actually better. It's
Right.
confusing, and it's also rich. Yeah, sharing impact.
There's something where I feel like it's like I get reminded that I matter. When somebody says they're changed by being with me,
Yeah.
I matter. I'm actually impact. I might feel small or like I don't do things right or this or that. And then yet I'm hearing from people that their being is changed by being with me. And
Yeah.
what great feedback,
Mm-hmm.
especially around, these clients, they're bringing the thing that matters most in their life right now. That's what they're coming to you for. That's what they want to pay money for, to get support in this thing that matters so much. And then to share, well, here's how this is on me, that lands on me. Here's what it's
right,
like to be with you right now. I mean, how precious is that, where we're walking around in the world and we don't usually get feedback like that.
right. It's almost trusting something larger than ourselves. That what is happening when we bring as the therapist, or um, if we bring up what's happening for us in this, that's trustable, even in the way it's going to move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
and it's
Hmm.
always in service of the client, but it is a trusting of the thing that might seem weird, right?
Hmm.
It's coming up. It doesn't seem to go with anything. And you allow, and you're not, you're not holding on to it tightly, like this has to be something. You're allowing what's happening in the field to be spoken, and then to be open to what happens, right? And a lot of times they're like, yes, or whatever, but there's a freedom in it of allowing. There's some allowing, both of your damnness to be there, and all those things that are happening that you're not really, haven't been cookie cuttered into something, allowing those to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one other thing I love too about relateful coaching is when we bring ourselves in the midst of the client and their topic, we're making it more open for us to benefit the from the coaching call itself. Because the more we sit on the side, we're kind of watching them be in their thing and hoping they leave with value. And with this way, when we bring ourselves in, I mean, we might benefit as much or more as the client does.
Yeah, I always think of there's nothing that's common to man that's foreign to me. There's nothing that my client is in that in
Mhm.
some way doesn't live in me. And it's okay with us if we get more out of it than the client.
Mhm.
I love for the client to get more or at least as much, but it's perfectly okay because it is generative to be fed by what we do.
Yeah.
And yeah, to not drag our carcass into a session, but be
Yep.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we're holding two things. We're holding the what's happening now and the sharing, and then we're holding what the people that are here with us that we don't even know, what
Yeah.
might be useful to them.
Yeah.
Um, and so the piece that I was kind of reluctant to share was this piece around like worth, around feeling
Mhm.
like I'm good, the good enoughness, like this is my as a facilitator. Like if we get to be part of this feedback loop and like and it gets to be as good for us or even better, and that's actually giving to them, because when you're in the presence of somebody who's really feeling it, like that's contagious. That's contagious, like you were saying. But there's also like when you get done, there's less of this evaluative thing. It's like, did I do a good job? Did I not do a good job? And kind of working through. It's like if we feel alive when we're done and we look over at this other people and we can see maybe not today, but over an arc. And this is like really important. There's now, but there's also this whole arc that we're on together, because we don't offer people, we might do one-offs sometimes, but like we don't offer people relationship for a singular moment.
Mhm.
Right.
Um, and and so I don't know. There's um, it's almost like this, as a facilitator, you don't have to be a martyr. Um, doesn't have to cost you so much to care
Yeah.
for these people and to be with these
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and to give your life sacrificially.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You just encapsulated in one sentence why therapists burn out.
Yeah.
To give your life sacrificially.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
And
my goodness.
yeah. And even that, I should, because I consult with therapists. They come to me and I support them in their development. And that piece around like you have to matter as much or more than your client if you're going to make it and if they're going to make it and if all of this is going to be sustainable. But this sharing impact, allowing your full self to be here, like all of this, these just relateful ways of being and sharing in relationship. Like I think it was Val, you said like something's been additive, like that's been additive
Mhm.
both in the presence and in the how I support people in developing, and even in the punctuating. Like when I first came into this space, and it's like you're it's like I'll use parts language. I don't use it that much, but it's here. So like like part of me was like cringing a little bit when somebody is like, it's really nice to laugh with you. Like I had this cringing going on, but I also had this like, this feels so good. And it feels so, it was also like, it felt bigger when somebody named it. Yeah, we're laughing together and this feels great.
Yeah.
And, and there's not only more freedom to name, that's one of the ways to share impact is like it's a loss when we can't genuinely share the love that is here, that
Mhm.
is palpable, that is
Mhm.
life-giving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I wonder if like if another experienced therapist was to ask you, why learn about Relateful or why take Relateful coaching, what would you say?
Um, what sometimes when people ask me what is my next thing in IFS, and I tell them go do Relateful. Um,
Mm.
um, I would say there's something about it is this next layer. You already know how to support somebody internally really well, and that is not their whole being. That is their whole being is actually bigger than them and is in connection with other people and other things bigger than us. And and Relateful offers us a window and a landscape into accessing more of that and enlivening that for ourselves in our lives and in our work, which our work is part of our life. And so so that's what I would say.
Mm.
It's yeah. Mm.
That's beautiful. Mm.
Mhm. Yeah. It's kind of like the fractals. You can go in smaller and smaller and the patterns recreate, or you can go out and the patterns recreate. And if going in is not working for whatever reason, you'd better be able to go out.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan, it's so good to be with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I miss seeing you every week.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I loved about the coaching program and was making me think about redoing about doing it over again was because there's a sweetness like and the timing is nice. So it's like the
Mhm.
hour and a half chunks. It fits into life so much easier than I'm gonna block off 5 days and I might have to travel. I might like
Yeah.
that was and it also felt more integrated. Like learning something I'm playing with, I'm learning something I'm playing with it, and I'm connected. And in an IFS training, there are 35 other participants. There are 12 staff. There's
Wow.
there's one or two lead trainers. There's an assistant trainer. So we got this, and we got a Zoom person. So there's over 50 people in this big room.
Oh.
And you break out in the smaller rooms and all this. And in this, like in the coaching training, where we're breaking out into dyads, we're breaking out into triads. We've got you two kind of coming around and shadowing and seeing what's going on and possibly giving feedback. We've got a small, like, what's the biggest training group you have?
I think the biggest we had is 10.
Right. To get that right. That's so rich. Like, as a
Yeah.
teacher, I would love to have 10
Yeah.
people that I got to just focus on and be with and watch and be
Yeah.
part, an intimate part of them growing and developing
Yeah.
and come to these same people and to see all of us change over the course of from September to January. Like
Yeah.
all of
Twice
us.
a week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. We're all together in it. And it becomes so close knit because
Yeah.
we're all in for this
Mm-hmm.
amount of time and
Right.
learning and bouncing off and working through and bringing our real life stuff as our curriculum. Uh,
Exactly.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or getting coached and then even coaching, demoing that, like being the coach in the room, it feels intimate too, because we really get to see we're also getting to learn about, oh, what is this person like, What are their gifts? What could they lean into? So there's just a lot of us getting to know each other really well.
Yeah. And you all not being absent from that. Like as you demo for us that are learning with you, it's like you're not above being in a more vulnerable chair, whatever that means, or sharing what's actually alive. And that's I was gonna make a connection to my teaching, but I'll stay with this for the moment. Like as the student, as somebody that's coming here to learn, and like I trust you more, I trust the space more. I feel like I'm in charge and holding a lot in a lot of spaces. So when I come in here to know, like, I may have my shit together in lots of places, but I don't have to have my shit together here. Like, and I don't have to pretend because I'm good at lots of things that I have to be good at this right now. And that was a huge thing for me as we were going along together, that like I get to come here and not be good and not know, and that was really it was really hard, and it was really important, and something that I absolutely needed.
Mm. Mm.
There's so much more to say, and I think we've said a lot of it. Feels-
Yeah.
And yeah, the way you're describing it, Dan, really encapsulates and it captures it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've also been helping me remember like what I miss. Like you get to be integrally part of things, and having like experts offer you this much attention and this much time and this much like generosity with their sharing, that's invaluable.
Oh,
Mm. Dan, thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
yeah.
Um, just really appreciate you so much. It's so good to be with you again too, and just to get to feel your damnness.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's good to
Yeah,
be with you
thank
both.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.